That way, if anybody like Miss Gwen comes and needs to watch it later, then she'll have a lesson to watch. But anyway, because it's just you, Miss Arlene, we can focus on anything that you want to focus on. But of course, we know that we'll always start off warming up. I'm so warm, I'm sweating. I wish I had on a tank top right now from all that walking around in circles. I don't know if you walk around whenever you're on the phone, but I can't sit still when I talk on the phone. So there's a conference table in this room that I teach in, and I will walk around that conference room around and around and around while I'm on the phone. And so that's what I did when I was on the phone with her dance teacher. I just walked around in circles. And so, like I said, I'm so hot right now. I am sweating. Which, I'm not complaining. Do not take that as a complaint, because I like to be hot. Much rather be hot than cold. But I'm not warming up because I need to. I'm warming up because that's what we do. We get our bodies warmed up and ready to go through all of our motions so that our muscles are in a good place and not set up for injury. All right, so let's start off with our neck. Well, first starting off with our body awareness, and that our feet are about shoulder width apart. We're holding our weight. We got good posture. Our shoulders are relaxed. We're just in a supportive stance. Reminding ourselves to breathe. Feeling and starting that internal experience of Tai Chi where we have a mental quietness. All right, let's start with our neck. We bring our hands up towards our chin and chest. Push away and follow those hands down. Little stretch in the back of that neck. Try not to talk as much because I know you know these movements, and I really want to experience that internal principle. Let's follow that hand side to side as we feel that little stretch in our neck, coming back to center. Slow as we move and switch. We don't do anything in a hurry, which is nice because everything else in life is in a hurry. Stretching that neck. Always where I hold tension. Stretch is especially important. Is that dog? Is that the dog? Roll those shoulders. Did you say you were going to put him out?
I'm coming in another room.
Oh, okay. I'll wait till you get where you're set.
Okay.
Rolling those shoulders forward. That feels very awkward. And I was talking to somebody about posture yesterday, and they said, you know, they really needed to work on their posture. And I said, roll your shoulders forward. And that just feels awkward, right? And that there's a reason why. It's because we're not supposed to have our shoulders forward. We're supposed to have our shoulders back and relaxed. So that second part of that shoulder warm up is a back roll, little circles. Mine tend to always be bigger than prescribed, but little circles going back. And it's like a little massage you give yourself. You may feel muscles all in your back getting a massage. But the most important thing is it resets that posture. So if you're ever slumped forward or you've just been sitting somewhere and not paying good attention to posture, rolling those shoulders back just resets you and makes you feel like you're in the right spot. So that's always my advice move, to reset your posture. Roll forward and then roll back, and just keep those shoulders back and relaxed, and that helps set your posture to upright. Our other shoulder warm up, we bring our hands up and then push our hands down. I like to inhale as I come up and exhale as I come down, but you do it at your own pace. Your lungs are different than mine, so you do that movement how you feel comfortable. Let's do one more. Now let's grab our ball and stretch our spine. Separating the heavens and the earth, we have one hand going down towards the ground and the other coming up and pushing up and down at the same time, really stretching that spine, keeping that soft bend in your elbow, coming back to your ball and switch. Switch. Always think about my spine opening up and being able to breathe whenever I do this stretch. Just really stretches that spine. I think of it as like a good morning, hello sunshine stretch. You know, you get out of bed and you just, stretch that spine. Now let's take our ball from side to side, gently stretching our spine horizontally. So we're not going as far as we can, just a soft turn from side to side. I like to inhale as I switch my hands and then exhale as I come across my body. That's not the only way to do it. It's just the way I do it. You figure out what works for you. To me, doing it that way really encourages you to slow your movement down, because if you were to inhale with a switch and then hurry move to the other side as you exhale, by the time you get to this other side, you're not ready to inhale yet. You haven't completely exhaled. So it's a good reminder to slow down in your movement and not be in a hurry. So we inhale as we switch, and then slowly exhale. Inhale as we switch, and then exhale as we turn. So like I said, it's a good reminder to slow down, because you would be not completely exhaled if you were in a hurry. All right, let's go to our lower body, where we shift our weight to one leg. We put one heel forward, hands back. We pause in the middle and toe back, hands forward. Holding our body weight with one leg as we leg swing of sorts with the other. Coming back just like a kickstand. Come back to center, shift the weight, and let's take our other heel out. Pause, toe back. Let's do one more. We're really pushing the strength in that leg as we warm up. Feet side by side. Now let's go side, shifting the weight side to side, taking our hand in the direction of the weight shift, stopping at our frame, tapping that toe out. Remembering to keep our bodies upright. These are some of those movements where it would be easy to lean with the weight shift, but we don't want to lean because leaning would be going towards falling. So we want to shift that weight, but still keep our bodies upright. That's a challenge. Very good. Last one. Now for our knees, we have our loose fist. We shift, lift, tap and punch, letting those stabilizer muscles wobble a little bit as I shift the weight and let that leg hold me as I do that movement. So, you know, stabilizer muscles will be like that. They may have a little wobble to catch that balance. When we make them strong, they're able to recover from it. That's why we spend time slowly shifting weight with all of our Tai Chi moves. That really kicks in those stabilizers. So there's a good reason for all different types of exercise. I like all of them for different reasons. All right, here we go. Now we're going to step out forward. Step. We're going to shift the weight to that front foot. Shift as I punch. Bring it back and feet side by side. Shift. Step. Shift and punch. Shift back. Side by side. Shift. Step. Shift and punch. Bring it back. Side by side. So again, we're keeping our bodies upright. While it may be easy to lean forward as we shift that weight forward, we still want to keep our body upright. And remember, we keep that back heel flat on the floor. Just as soon as we raise that heel, it jumps our body forward. So keep that heel on the floor. Next is for our ankles. Shift our weight, heel toe, rocking that foot. And then shift and heel toe with our other foot. Shift the weight, big toe, little toe, side to side. Works on the range of motion of our ankles. Shift, little toe, big toe, side to side. Give your body a little shake. I got to get a drink of water. If I said a little drink, I meant a big drink. All right, so now we're going to go over our basic 6. I know I always push the principles because that's what's important. It doesn't matter if you only do the warm-ups. If you only do all those movements we just did. If you focus on the principles, then you'll still get benefits from Tai Chi. You'll still get the stronger stabilizer muscles to help keep you from falling or to catch yourself if you lose your balance. You'll still get that improvement of balance and coordination. If you really allow yourself the internal principle of mental quietness, you'll still get that reduction of stress, anxiety, depression. So you'll still, because your muscles will get stronger, you'll still help relieve yourself of chronic pain, especially from arthritis, from the wear and tear of your joints. So even if you just do what we just did and not ever do anything we're doing forward, you still can get the benefits as long as you focus on principles. So I probably say slow, smooth, and continuous more than anything when it comes to principle. And I think it's because I'm so used to going 90 to nothing. I'm always in a hurry, ready to do the next thing. Oh, I got 45 things on my to-do list. Go, 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 go. One kid's here, one kid's there, needs to be here, needs to be, you know, there's always, life is like that. And so to remind myself, slow down, stay upright. Of course, we know that weight transfer is what really helps strengthen those muscles. But slow, smooth, continuous, that's the biggest guider words for me when we do our movements. And that's right there in movement control of our principles. So whatever you decide to focus on, do that. Or just do the movements and not think about it. But if you're doing them right, you'll be doing the principles anyway. So get yourself in a good place with posture, holding those feet or holding your weight on both legs, having enough space in your legs that supports your body. Get that good breathing going. Hopefully you continue it as we do the movements. And let's start with our commencement and commence. Open and close. Single whip. Waving hands in clouds. I think this is that fourth one, but you know, sometimes I get lost in my thoughts as I go through these movements. Open and close. Single whip. Waving hands in clouds. Open and close. Close it out. You feel good about those, right, Miss Arlene?
Fairly good.
What is your favorite move of our basic 6? Do you have one?
No, not really.
I thought you were going to say open and close. Open and close is so good. It's hard to not feel successful at open and close because it's something we can do and we don't have to think a whole lot about. Matter of fact, we don't really have to do anything except take a breath. Exhale, and our hands open and close with just air in our lungs. So if you ever want to really practice the internal principle of Tai Chi, sit and just open and close. I say sit because you can really relax into a chair. Of course, when you're standing, you have to be conscious of bearing weight. So, I mean, here I'm conscious of that weight is on both legs. I'm not shifting to one side. You know, I'm stable in my weight. But so as I open and close, there's still that to worry about because I don't want to fall. But if I sit down, I'll just sit down here because my chair's in view. If I sit down, my weight is supported. Yes, my feet are still at shoulder width apart, but my weight is supported. I don't have to worry about falling. So I can really sit, I can even close my eyes and just open and close. I can think about breathing, truly diaphragmatic breathing, where I'm completely filling my lungs with air, completely emptying my lungs with air. And then I can really start thinking even about gentle resistance. So as I move my hands open and close, yes, my breath is controlling it, but if I really take more control of gentle resistance, I can feel that accordion or that bellows that you put air on a fire, where I'm gentle resistant, like I'm pushing against a force and then pushing as I do open and close. So I add in that gentle resistance, and so that's another way to practice that principle. So I was kidding when I said it's probably, I figured you'd say that because it's easy, but really it is easy, but it's a great one to just sit and just spend time with. You know, set a time for, my nose is itching, sorry. Set a time for, 3 minutes, 5 minutes, nothing for very long, and just open and close and just focus on that breath and focus on that resistance of opening and resistance of closing, and you'll feel benefits from doing that. Just that, and you don't think of it as doing a whole lot. The other movement that I really like to do a pull out with is waving hands in clouds. And the reason why is because of the weight transfer. Yes, the hands really make it Tai Chi as we stay within our frame, switching, turn, stay within our frame. As we go side to side, we can even sit down and do just the upper body movement of waving hands in clouds. Breath, slow, smooth, continuous. Slow, smooth, continuous as we go side to side. Even doing it seated, we're engaging spinal muscles that we didn't engage when we did open and close seated. So there'll be days you don't want to do stand up anything. You just want to sit here and breathe and just take in and move. And so the hands of waving hands in clouds are great to do seated. But when we talk about standing waving hands in clouds and the weight transfer that we do, we are stepping a little further than hip width apart, shift, step right at hip width. So it teaches us to feel what body placement is most stable. It helps us to have a memory of, okay, I'm not even looking at my feet, but I feel my feet are wider than hip width. I feel stable. If I were to come in and bring my foot too close, I can feel that that's not a real stable movement or a stable position. So I come here at hip width, and that's very stable. So the more you practice stepping side to side, going at hip width, a little wider than hip width, the more you do that, you start having a memory for what's the right step versus stepping too far. Like, I know that's wrong. That doesn't even feel right. Well, that's because I practiced it right enough times to know just how much to move that foot. So when I'm not doing Tai Chi, then my body has a memory of what's a stable stance. And that's about right here. It's, you know, my stable stance is always a little wider than hip width. That's what works best for me. But because of my movement in waving hands and clouds, I have found kind of my sweet spot with how big or small to step. As I step, shift, step. In the same way, you know, spending time just stepping to the side, slowly shifting, step, slowly, step. Taking your time to shift the weight and step to the side. Now you see, I'm not doing waving hands and clouds hand movements. I'm only doing the footwork. So pull out movements that serve you. That serves you with strengthening stabilizer muscles. That serves you by thinking about body structure and also thinking about upright posture as you go through those movements to keep your shoulders back and keep a good posture. So it just gives you complete body awareness just to practice walking side to side. Now, we don't have a movement in our warm-ups or our Tai Chi basic 6 that walks us forward, but you can always Tai Chi walk, step, shift, step, shift. So when you step, heel, toe, shift, step, heel, toe. When you step, that's an empty step, then shift the weight. And so that is a way for you to work those stabilizer muscles forward. And then when you work them this way, that's working them sideways. And that's outside of our basic 6 movements, but they're Tai Chi movements. Follow the principles and get the benefits. And that's our goal, really. It's not our goal. Well, your goal may be to learn all the movements. But if we're in Tai Chi for our health, then we can do the movements in different ways to serve our purpose. So let's do our basic 6 again, and then just one more time, and then we'll go back to our brush knee, play the lute of our advanced movements. So hopefully I'm just teaching you something. That's my goal here, is to think about Tai Chi differently. Now here we go with our basic 6 and commence. Open and close. Single whip. Waving hands and clouds. Close. Single whip. Waving hands and clouds. Open and close. And close it out. So have you had a moment in life where where Tai Chi has come to mind, or body awareness has come to mind?
Yeah, it does. You know, I don't have anything specific, but it does come up every once in a while.
I think about it in 2 different places specifically, and that's standing in line at the grocery store. Because, you know, when you're impatient and you shift your weight, shift your weight, shift your weight, shift your weight. You're just like, ugh, is it my turn yet? Is it my turn yet? You know, and so if you think Tai Chi body awareness, to be able to stand in a way that's supportive, or that staggered stance, which we learn in bingo size, that is the supportive stance. That's one moment when I have body awareness. And also just when I'm standing having conversation with people, to hold my body in a way that's supportive. So that Tai Chi body awareness comes up in those two places for me specifically. All right, so oh, I know another place. This morning I go to the gym in the morning, and this morning my exercise called for a split squat. And so you know how we do the hip warm up where we're here, and then we put that leg back like a kickstand because that's more supportive. Well, this morning my workout called for a split squat. So when I split my legs, I had my leg more at that kickstand versus here, which would have been straight back. Because if I go down, I'm more likely to fall when I come back up, and it puts different pressures on my hips and knees versus here, and then split squat down and up. So that's more stable. So I remember falling several months ago doing a split squat because I put my leg straight back. And when I went down, of course, I'm holding weight. So when I went to come back up, I was off of balance. I said, well, duh, we learned in Tai Chi to do that kickstand. So as soon as I fixed my leg, I was able and more stable. So that's in weightlifting. I used Tai Chi body awareness. So another exercise, and I used it, and that helps support my body. All right, so let's talk about brush knee. This is where I'm less comfortable doing a mirror image. The first brush knee we go to the left, okay? So we're going that way, that's the left. And when we go to the left, we first shift left and turn our right toe in. So that right toe is kind of like an arrow. It points us in that direction. So it's shift left, right toe in. And when we turn that right toe in, that's when I call it lay hands. Our hands go from here at open and close to our right hand falling forward and our left hand coming down, protecting that elbow. So like I said, I call it lay hands, lay hands. I don't know what anybody else calls it. I'll have to pay attention next time I'm in a training class, what they say. So it's shift left, right toe in, lay hands. You got that? That feels good. Shift left, right toe in, lay hands. So our goal is to go to the left. So we got to shift right. We're going to bring that left foot back and separate our hands. So my left hand comes back by my hip. Now I'm going to step left, bring my right hand around. Now when I shift to my left foot, I throw that pitch and follow step right. So what my hand looks like from the front is lay hands, separate hands, and then I come around, throw a pitch, boom, stop in the name of love. That's what Miss Gwen likes, stop in the name of love. And that's the end of the hand movement for a brush knee. So again, here, lay hands, separate, bring that right hand around, there. The footwork looks like this. Shift left, right toe in, shift right, bring that left back. Now step, left, and then follow step right. So my right foot is further back than my left. My heel is almost to that floor. There's just a little bit of space there. In a perfect world, only my left foot would have weight on it. For stability reasons, you may have to put some weight on your right foot, and that's okay because we want to pay attention to what our body needs. You'll just have to release that weight before you move to the next movement. So let's put it all together and practice several times. Brush knee to the left, shift left, right toe in, lay hands, shift right, bring that left foot back, separate hands, step left, shift as I throw that pitch, and follow step right. Let's do it again. Shift, turn, lay hands, shift, separate, bring that foot back, step, shift as I throw the pitch, and follow step. Now that's the most difficult movement in our advanced movements, in my opinion, because we're going from front to the side. Do you feel good about it, Miss Arlene, or do you have any questions?
No, I don't have any questions.
I know it just takes practice and it feels awkward. It feels awkward to turn that foot in. And if it causes you any kind of pain, rather than turning that toe in, you can step out to widen your stance, shift, and then step if that feels better for you. So, but the turn the toe in gives you that arrow. I always think of it as an arrow, like that's the way we're going. Shift, and then prepare, shift, and follow step. So brush knee to the left, shift, turn, lay hands, shift, separate, bring that foot back, step, shift as I throw that pitch, and follow step. So that's brush knee. Our next movement is play the lute. Play the lute. So we're coming from here. Now remember I said in theory there is no weight on this right foot. That's because it's our next foot to step. So if you put weight on that right foot, you want to give all your left foot your weight so that you can take that right foot and step it back. So you're going from here, from your follow step, no weight on that right foot, and you step back. So when you step back, now you have weight on both legs. So here, no weight on the right foot. When we do play the lute, we step back right and we put weight on both legs. Our next movement is to shift the weight to our right foot. Shift. Now this left foot's going to come and follow step. So this looks like exactly where we started. We just were up here. We were here at the end of brush knee. We're going to be here at the end of play the lute. It's just going to be back there a little bit. So I step right, shift right, follow step left. So see, it's the same exact movement. We just step back one time. So the end of brush knee is here. Play the lute foot movement is step back right, shift right, follow step left. What do our hands do? All right, I'm going to turn this way so you can see me from the front. So I just did, let me start from the top. I just did brush knee where I did. Now I do play the lute. Remember my footwork where I step back, shift, follow step, right? That was the footwork. We started here at the end of brush knee. I stepped back, shift, follow step. Here's what my hands do. So I'm here at stop in the name of love. When I step back with my right foot, my hands turn in. So I go, let me get closer to the camera. I'm here, and when I step back right, I turn my hands. So both of my hands, if they were beside each other, they would be facing each other, the palms, but they're not, they're separated, they're back here. We're getting ready to pass those hands. Pass our hands and follow that arm to that elbow. So there's my arms. My arms went from stop in the name of love, turn my hands, hands pass each other, follow to that elbow. That's the arm movement of play the lute. So you can imagine it's kind of like a harp, like you're playing a harp. This arm right here is all the strings. Ooh, all my straps are strings. We can think about that. Here, turn hands, pass. I'm playing those strings and stopping. So that's my little harp. Okay, that's play the lute. Here, here, hands pass, stop at the elbow. That's what it looks like from the side. So again, our footwork, we're at the end of brush knee. I have stepped, shift, follow step. Now for play the lute, I step back right, shift, and follow step left. I took one step back. Anytime I say follow step, that says don't put weight on that foot. Your follow step foot doesn't get weight because your follow step foot is the next move you're going to make. That's the next foot you're going to move. So just like in brush knee, we did shoo, follow step right. Well, guess what moves next? Right foot back, shift, follow step left. So guess what moves first in our next movement? The left foot. We follow step left. No weight on that left foot. The heel's almost to the floor. So the next movement calls for us to step left. So anytime we do follow step, you don't put weight on there just yet, because you're getting ready to do something with that foot. All right, so from the top we have brush knee, where we're here. Shift, turn, shift, separate, step, shift as I throw that pitch, follow step right, play the lute, step back right, turn my hands, shift right as my hands pass each other, follow step left when my hand gets to the elbow. So again, we're at brush knee. We're going to play the lute. Step back right, turn hands. Shift right as my hands pass each other. Follow step left when I get to the elbow. I like this movement because after doing all that brush knee stuff, that was kind of confusing because we were going from the front to the side, and it's a lot of woo, woo, woo. Shoot, play the lute is easy after learning brush knee. So you almost think, is that it? Is there something else to it? No, there's not anything else to it. It's just easier than brush knee. So I'm starting brush knee this way. Shift, turn my hands, shift, separate and prepare, step, shift, throw the pitch, follow step right. Play the lute, step back right, turn hands, shift right as my hands pass, get to that elbow, follow step left. How is that?
That was complicated.
It is. I love the advanced movements. I can't even believe we're doing advanced movements on virtual. So for you to be willing to be patient with me and patient with yourself to learn these movements over a computer, whew, that's big. I don't know that I could have learned them on a computer, but I'm doing my best as an instructor to break it down and keep reviewing it. But I encourage you to keep practicing. Come to this video, fast forward to about 30 minutes into it and start practicing brush knee, play the lute. Just keep practicing it, you know, over and over, and then your body will get that memory for it and you'll get better at it. So we have brush knee, shift, turn lay hands, shift, separate, prepare, step, shift as I throw the pitch, follow step, play the lute, step back right, turn hands, shift to that right foot as my hands pass each other. When I get to that elbow, I follow step left. Okay, let's do those two together again. I'm starting this way, that way I'll end up facing you, so it'll be easier to see it from the front. Because all the movements, once I start forward, I go to the side, all of them are coming this way, or we're coming back and toward. So it makes more sense for me to be facing you from that moment. So here we have brush knee, shift, turn, lay hands, shift, prepare, separate, step, shift as I throw that pitch, follow step, play the lute, step back, turn hands, shift as those hands pass, get to the elbow and follow step. So now let me do it without talking. Brush knee. Play the lute. All right, let's do it again. Brush knee. So the more you do it, the easier. I won't say easy because I don't know that easy is the right word. Your just body will have a better memory for it to do those movements. It's just like anything. With practice, you get better at it. So brush knee. Play the lute. Our next move is called peri, peri, and punch. So I'll just introduce it now. We don't have a lot of time, but I'll introduce it and then you can at least be familiar with it. We're here at the end of play the lute. I can't want to say brush knee. I'm going to scoot back a little bit. We're here at the end of play the lute. I just follow step left. So that means there's no weight on my left foot and I'm getting ready to do something with it. So just the footwork of peri, peri, and punch is step left, shift, step right, shift, step left, shift, follow step. So it's step, 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 follow step. Remember, when we follow step, we don't add weight. So we're coming from play the lute here, So parry, parry, punch, step left, shift, step right, shift, step left, shift, follow step right. Now that just seems easy, doesn't we? Just kind of went for a walk. Parry, parry, and punch. And the words kind of follow the movement. So if you go parry, parry, and punch. So there's a movement for each word. We at the end to play the lute, getting ready to step left. Parry, parry, and punch. Parry, parry, and punch. So if you use the words, then you know you have some kind of movement to do with the words. You can say them to yourself, you can say them out loud. Play the lute, parry, parry, and punch. Well, parry, parry, and punch are arm movements, but our legs went right with the rhythm, so that's just fine. Parry, parry, and punch. We're coming from, we played the lute, right? So we brush knee, turn hands. So we're here whenever we parry, parry, and punch. So this is what parry, parry, and punch looks like, upper body. Flip my hands, parry, my hands cross each other. This time they're this way, like a sandwich. Before, on play the lute, they were this way, vertical. On parry, parry, punch, they're horizontal, like a sandwich. So we're play the lute. Okay, parry, flip, parry. Get to that elbow. Now, time to flip, parry. That hand that just went out, that's the and part. In the and part, we put up a shield right here. This is a protecting us. If somebody's coming at us, that's our shield. We're holding a shield. So our left hand is our shield. That's the and then we need to punch. So this right hand comes around and delivers a punch. You might not be a real violent person, Miss Arlene. I'm not either. So I would much rather deliver flowers than a punch, right? So if you have your hand like this in a fist, that's the perfect spot to put a little bouquet of flowers, isn't it? So think of that whenever you put that and deliver flowers. So there, your hand is perfect spot to hold a little bouquet. So when you bring it around, you're delivering the bouquet, and your wrists are touching each other. That's a little introduction to parry, parry, and punch. I'm just going to add it to our brush knee, play the lute. I'm going to add it right now, and you may not be ready for it yet, but at least you'll be able to see it and review it in this video. So coming from the top, brush knee. So that pitch. Play the lute, step back, shift, follow step, parry, punch, parry, parry, and punch. So there's your parry, parry, and punch. Remember your footwork moved with the words. So you went parry, parry, and punch. A parry is your arm movement. So you went parry, parry, and punch. So now you know the first three moves of advanced. I'm going to be honest with you. If you can get those three, you're home free, because the rest of advanced 6 is this. Okay, parry, parry, and punch. Here's the rest. Block and close. Push the tiger up the mountain. And then we go back to the front. Open and close. And close it out. So that's it. That's all of our advanced 6. We just have to do it to the other side, which is complicated in itself, but we can get it with practice. But we know if we did all that, brush knee, play the lute, parry, parry, and punch, we're home free. Lock and close, push the tiger, and to the front, open, close it out. So that should give you hope that, oh, those advanced movements are complicated. We're to the spot of home free. Back, good. And then we're ready to do it to the next side. So we'll work on that more next week. Do you have any specific questions, Miss Arlene?
Yeah, explain, demonstrate diaphragm breathing.
Okay. With diaphragmatic breathing, it is completely filling your lungs with air. So in a way, okay, so you expect, if you're filling your lungs with air, you feel like your chest should rise. But if you're completely filling your lungs with air, your lungs go all the way down to here. So if you're completely filling those lungs with air, your belly is going to be the one that comes out, because filling these lungs with air pushes that belly out. Okay. So whenever you practice diaphragmatic breathing, I like to practice it seated or laying down, because then you don't have to worry about body structure and holding weight. But I like to hold my hand here on my chest and here on my belly and take a deep breath in. I'm going to turn to the side. You should feel your belly coming in and out as you breathe, not your chest. If you're taking a deep breath and you feel your chest move, that's a shallow breath. That's only filling the top part of your lungs. And it takes practice. It's inhaling all the way to the bottom of your lungs, feeling that belly come out. Exhaling, feeling that belly come in. But it's because you're filling your lungs with air that it pokes your belly out. Why is it called diaphragmatic breathing? Well, up under your lungs is your diaphragm, and it's a little muscle that kind of looks like a upside down bowl. It's a real shallow bowl, but it's upside down, and it's kind of like this. It's a little shallow bowl, and it's right up under your lungs, and it sits right over top of all of your internal organs, your stomach, your large and small intestine, you know, you got some kidneys and some liver, you know, you got all those internal organs down there, and that diaphragm sits right on top of it. And so when that diaphragm is pushed down, when your lungs are filled with air, it pushes down into your internal organs. And those, it's a muscle. And so it pushes down. That's why your stomach comes out. The diaphragm pushes down and your stomach comes out, but it's because your lungs are filled with air. Let's talk about diaphragmatic breathing and what it can do for your health. If your diaphragm is pushing down on your internal organs, what is it doing? It's jostling them. Have you ever heard of talking to your plants or playing music to your flowers? Have you ever heard that?
Yeah.
You know why you do it? It jostles them. So if I'm working in my yard, I will go by my flowers and plants. I will loosely take my hands and go like this. And that brings the life to your plants. Vibration from noise, talking to them. Vibration from sound of music does the same thing. That's what diaphragmatic breathing does to your internal organs. So when your diaphragm pushes down to internal organs, it goes, hey guys, don't forget to work. So when you practice diaphragmatic breathing, you have better digestion. You have better movement of your blood. Your cardiovascular system works better. Everything that is functioning here to break down food and excrete food from our bodies functions better when it has a little bit of jostling. You do the same thing through exercise. I think about a baby that's stuck in a car seat. You've been on a long car ride, they stuck in a car seat. So what hasn't been jostled? Their internal organs. As soon as you let that baby out the car and start running around, what's that baby going to do? Mess up his diaper. Why? Because that internal organ got jostled and said, okay, it's time to work. It's time to do our job. So diaphragmatic breathing does that. Everybody work, everybody get your job done. So it's good for your lungs to fully expand your lungs and to make your lungs stronger. And when your lungs are stronger, you can battle things like when allergies start trying to attack you. Maybe you try to get bronchitis, maybe you try to get pneumonia. But if you practice diaphragmatic breathing, it makes those lungs stronger and you're less likely to get real sick. So we take breathing for granted because we do it without thinking about it. But if you really start practicing diaphragmatic breathing, everything is going to work better. It's not just about breathing. And that probably, well, I hope it answered your question or helped you see a demonstration, but I hope it gave you even more knowledge of why we even do it and what it does for our bodies.
I didn't know all that.
So keep breathing, girl. Let's give ourselves a little fist massage. And then we gather tension, we gather, and then we release. Gather and release. One more time. Gather and release. Now let's do that big shoulder circle where we come up and push down. Inhale and exhale. Let's make that fist. That represents our strength. Our straight fingers represents our friendship, and our thumb in is our humility. And in mutual respect, we put those together and we say namaste.
Okay, that was a good lesson.
Yeah, see, it was important for us to do it. So thank you, Miss Arlene, and I will see you next Tuesday. And let me know in the meantime if you need anything, okay?
All right, enjoyed it.
Okay, love you.
Love you.